All right, hey guys, I've got my brother on. So this is a meeting with the brothers C, not the brothers Chap, the other brothers,
Oh,
but
they're cool brothers, though. We like the
they
brothers.
they are cool brothers. All the brothers C's are cool brothers, and write a comment below if you know who the brothers Chap are, and if you don't, look them up, and it will make your day.
That's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
It's a fun rabbit hole to go down. Anyhow, it's been a week since Amazon changed a bunch of things, and so I just wanted to get on with my brother. I've had a week to kind of just evaluate, see how things are going, and see what the changes are. And I wanted to talk to my brother and see how things are for him. So, Tyler, I'm gonna start out, and I'm going to talk to you. And just like since last week when the reporting's changed, what are some of your thoughts? And more specifically, now that you've thought about it for a while, what changes, if any, are you planning on making going forward?
Well, so the big change, of course, is that they got rid of reporting, basically. You can't see what you've sold, and the data that's available to influencers is much smaller than it was in the past, which uh, I can, as I've thought about it for the last week, I see the reason for it, and I see some benefits to doing that. But I think you want to give influencers as much information as can help them make you more money as Amazon, and I don't think they're doing that yet. I
Okay,
think that's
short time
okay.
out. You said you see the benefit in that. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the benefit and the reason that Amazon may have done that.
Well, I think that there have been some loopholes in the past where you can get credit or you can hack the system
Like
to
the Halo cells.
like Halo cells,
Yeah.
where, the thing that is frustrating to us as influencers is when we have someone who never has used a product but is making product review videos and making a lot of money taking those carousel spots from people who've done legitimate reviews. And I think this cuts down on that kind of behavior. It makes it harder to do.
Okay.
So,
Interesting. So you're saying the people who do the whatever dumpy reviews, um, this helps mitigate that some?
I do. I think that it helps partly by getting rid of the halo cells, but I think just they don't have the same information on what the sellers are and what's doing well, and I think
Oh, so
it's just making it harder on the research side of it, things, which is frustrating to me, but it's also frustrating to people who are scamming the system.
okay. So tell me if I've got this right. You're saying because people don't know what's selling and what's not, people aren't going to be spamming as many products just trying to churn out content because they could be making thousands of videos and not know what's doing anything. So they're might cut down on people
Yeah,
doing.
and as you say that out loud, I'm like, well, that's stupid. But I still think there's something to that, a little bit at least.
Okay, well, that's interesting. And and I want to speak about Halo sales for a second too, because I've thought about this. Like, why would Amazon do this? Amazon's not paying any money for it. So, and let me define Halo sales real quick. It's a made up term. I don't know who made it up, but basically, if you have an item on Amazon, someone watches your video, and then they buy a similar video, sometimes you get credit for that. Um, and that used to be reported. Amazon used to tell you, hey, you're getting credit for this. So you could go into Creator Connections, you could accept that campaign before it ships out, and you could get money for that. That is all gone now. You still get credit if people are buying things similar to the product that you made a video for, but you're not going to know what it was. So you can't go to Creator Connection, sign up for it, and get the credit for that. But the thing is, Amazon, they're not paying out any of this money. So from Amazon's perspective, it doesn't really matter. From the our side of things, the influencer side of things, we're just using what's available to us to maximize our profit. Really, who it's hurting is the sellers who are paying people who are not making videos for their products. And and as, And so it makes sense that maybe the sellers are talking to Amazon and say, "Hey, I don't like this Creator Connections program. We're paying other people for not doing any work." And my first thought after they made this change was around that line, and like, why don't they just require you to add a link? Like, make it required before you can get credit for it. And then I was thinking, well, because then people just add whatever link they want. It'd be really hard to verify, and you'd get the same result as people just making up whatever videos they want. And so this is kind of a deep issue that I don't really know how to solve. And I guess maybe Amazon's thought is, hey, if we limit the information, that solves it in some way. So that's kind of my thinking for why Amazon did it, is it just kind of along the same line as what you're thinking, is it does make things a little bit difficult. Do you have any more thoughts on that?
No, just that, because you also asked me, how does this change my approach moving forward, and what do I think it will do for me? Now recognize me and McKay are in different positions. This is McKay's job. This is my hustle, right? And so we're coming from it slightly different. He digs deeper into it and does a lot more work on this, whereas I spend a few hours a week, and so I haven't really thought about it nearly as much, I'm sure. And I don't think it changes things for me very much, because the things that have worked for the last 3+ years are going to continue to work. You get good products, you make good review videos, and you get paid for it. And that's always been the formula. And this doesn't change that. Are we going to see a dip in earnings this month? Maybe, but so far for me this month, I'm earning more than I did last month, just because it's a better shopping month, right? So it hasn't made a huge difference. I suspect it has made a bigger difference for you, McKay. Is that true?
It's hard to say, because with the lack of reporting, it's hard to know if I am seeing a little bit fewer earnings, but I don't know if that's because I'm just selling fewer things or if it's because of the report. Probably a combination of the two. But that is certainly one of the frustrating things, is like, when earnings do go up or down, it's really kind of hard to know why.
Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of where I'm at with things. Also, I noticed that in where it has my name on here, it says Tyler C with a period, but on yours it says McKay C with no period. Is there a reason why you don't put a period after C?
Is there a reason why you do put a
Yes,
period
because it's an
after your C?
abbreviation.
um, I'm abbreviating the abbreviation. That's why it's gone.
Well, wouldn't you be abbreviating it then? The
I
Brothers
guess
Chab
so.
would say you're abbreviating it.
They would say something like that. But it just goes to show that even brothers can have different personalities. So
That's
there you
messed up.
go. And
Yep.
I'm not a professor like you are. So I'm just a lowly Amazon influencer.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true. You've never
that
even
word.
published a book.
That word's gross. I have not.
uh,
Or have I?
Embarrassing.
No, I don't think I have. Well, I do want to mention a little bit of what my thoughts are and plans going forward. For one, it is kind of nice. Like, I don't check Amazon stats nearly as much, because it's
Yes.
kind of depressing when you do. It's like, well, what good did that do me? So that's one change for good or for bad. Um, I think the big thing I'm realizing, and I don't know why I'm just realizing this now, because this was true ever for the whole time the Creator Connections program has been here. But here's kind of one main thing I want to talk about. For I don't know, when I joined the Creator Connections program, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, for the longest time, I was just like, every once excuse me, every once in a while I'd look at it and it would say the recommended things, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I made a video for that, let me click on that. And so I would do that like maybe once a month, once a week, whatever. And I was making okay Creator Connections income. I'm like, oh, this is great. Amazon, when they see that I have a product, they're gonna put it up there so I can accept it. And then Fizz or Rob Oink came along. He made that extension, for capturing the sales that you had on that day. And that was kind of a mindset shift for me, because it helped me to realize, like, there are a lot of campaigns that I have made videos for, that there are creator connections campaigns for, that I have not yet accepted. And every time I sell one of those things, I am not getting the commissions for that, and I am passing up money. And so now that we don't get to see what we sold that day, I'm still realizing that that same thing is true, where I've made, over 2,000 videos, and Amazon's not going to right away recommend all the videos I have for as soon as a campaign is out. So the bottom line is, Amazon does not have the tools to help you know exactly when you need to apply for a campaign. If you don't have an extension helping you out, you are going to be passing up on money. Now, there's plenty of extensions that do it. I think Oink is probably one of the more popular ones that do that. But that's the main thing for me, is Amazon's just not providing the tools to help accept everything. So you do need some sort of extension. And
Can I
I don't
comment
know.
on that?
Yeah.
So this is a two-edged sword, and it's an interesting thing to think about, because could Amazon just have us auto accept any creator connections campaign? Of course they could. But if they did that, then the brands that are paying that extra commission would be paying a lot more, because I'm guessing most people don't accept campaigns. What that does for people who are serious about being influencers and making money and making good money doing this is we're prioritizing those kinds of things so that we can get paid any commission that's possible to us. Now, we always talk about how saturated the market is. Imagine if everyone was getting paid, auto paid, that extra commission, then a lot of brands wouldn't be able to afford to pay 20, 30, 40%. And so it would go back down to 5% again or whatever. So this is a huge benefit right now that it isn't auto done, because then the people who care about it and who are getting those extensions, who are doing the research like McKay is, we're getting that added benefit.
Well, let me ask you specifically, how are you accepting campaigns right now?
Right now, I'm not. I got used to having that Oink extension that would do it for me, and I did go in once this week. I looked at that page. One of the benefits for me on this Slacker reporting, honestly, is it has simplified my life a little bit. I don't have to do the daily fetch. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to have my computer on so that a Chrome extension will do it for me. And so I actually am sleeping better because of this.
So
But go ahead.
so you're saving time and losing money,
Yes.
potentially.
Yes, but, money's not a huge
Right.
I'm not in dire straits. It's
And,
not
and
as big a deal.
it's on different scales too. Like, there's some people who might not have any videos with creator connections, and it doesn't make sense to check all the time.
Right. But
So
I did go through earlier this week, and I noticed, and I thought it was a glitch. It looked like I hadn't accepted any campaign, so I had a different thing, and I didn't know till you showed me today that there were different tabs on here, and I must have been on the wrong tab. I was like, "Oh, my best sellers historically, I'm not even accepted for those campaigns." So I searched for them, and sure enough, and so this is one of the downsides of what has happened, is there were a bunch of new campaigns that had come up for my top seller that I hadn't accepted. And so I had to go through that whole directory and select all of them. And it was only one product, but there's different versions of it.
sure.
And so I had to accept like 10 different campaigns so I could get paid. And then sure enough, the next day I got a $60 commission for that one product. So, that 10 minutes that I spent earned me $60.
Yeah.
And I should probably do that for all my bestsellers. I have not done that yet.
Yeah. So you need an automated way to check every day.
Yeah.
Which I believe Oink does have something like that. I haven't used Oink for a while, so but another thing I've been thinking of, though, is we are kind of in our own little creator space over here where we make videos, and there's another space over here that's very large, which is corporations that publish online articles, and they use Amazon affiliate links, and they use a lot more than we do. And a lot of what is going on, I wonder if it's Amazon trying to cater more to the big boys like that. I'm trying to think of, I don't read a lot of news online anymore, but like something like CNET or something where they publish tech articles, and they don't review products, they don't need a product. They might just do a blog post on, here are 20 cool new computers you should buy this year. They might go on to Creator Connections and say, hey, what are the computers that cost the most money and have the highest commissions? Let's talk about these computers. And I almost wonder if Amazon is trying to cater to that and say, hey, that's why you want to join. Like from a seller's perspective, you say that's why you want to join Creator Connections, because if you do that, you've got the CNETs out there who are going to see that, and they're going to be a higher chance that they show your product. Where for you and me, it doesn't really matter. We're going to make the same videos for what we're making, uh, with some exceptions. I think we do, like, I know you're probably the same. Like when I go shopping, I'll look to see if it's on Creator Connections first, so I can make a video on it. So that does have some impact. But I kind of wonder if like us making videos, or we're like the lower end of the totem pole where Amazon really doesn't care about us that much. And to that point, uh I'll kind of bring up, and we can talk about this for a second. I just showed you this morning the new feature that Amazon added, I think 2 days ago, which is you can now download the entire catalog of Creator Connection campaigns, and then you can bulk upload. So in theory, and I tried this out, I downloaded all of the CSV files. It took about 20 minutes, and they break it up into chunks. I think it was like 5 or 6 files, but you could go in, you could go on a spreadsheet, you can get the IDs, and then you can go back to that page and you can upload it to Amazon. I think they limit you, but you can upload 5,000 campaigns at a time. So if you wanted to, if you wanted to be strategic, you could use that, and you could accept every single Creator Connections campaign. Now, I don't know if that's what Amazon had in mind. I'm kind of trying to figure out why Amazon built that tool in the first place. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, you just shared it with me, so this is news to me. I clicked on the download button more than 20 minutes ago, and it's still preparing the download, so I haven't got it yet. It's a big file. There's over 650,000 campaigns right now,
Yeah.
and so that makes sense. Um, I think I don't know how Amazon thinks, but I think they took away a lot of reporting, and they're like, but we're going to make it possible for you to know everything that's available to you. And but I don't know. The only reasonable thing I think influencers will do with this is build another extension that will now auto accept all the campaigns, because now that we have that data, you could build an extension that does that and does it on a cycle 5,000 at a time, and during the day your computer auto accepts all 650,000 campaigns. Run that once a week, and now you get a piece of everything, and that's where we were before. So it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. So bottom line, Amazon's doing some weird things. A lot of it doesn't make sense. I do kind of wonder though if that goes back to my CNET example of these big online publishers, if that's something that they would use, and they would just, instead of using the website, they would have a list of things, and they could plug that into AI and say, hey, look through this list and tell me anything related to a computer or something. Or, I mean, seriously, and here's a great idea if you want it. If you're a blogger, download that CSV file, go into ChatGPT, say, hey, pick out the things with the highest commissions that cost the most money, and write me a blog article about it, and do all the affiliate links. You could do that now. Like you could very easily just churn out AI articles with a bunch of links, and man, maybe I will start doing that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, you get you more offsite traffic for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know how many people read blogs anymore. I used to be a blogger. I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cents
pennies. Yeah.
every month. Yeah.
I had a month
those
where I
days are
made
gone.
over $100. I was serious
Hey,
blogger.
that's not bad. You were
I think my best month was $300, and all it took was writing 50 articles that month.
all right. Well, I'll talk to you more, Tyler. I think there's no point to this video other than I'm kind of curious on what people are thinking right now. I think bottom
Yeah.
line for me
Well,
is you still
I
do
need to
need.
pause you, McKay.
Okay, go ahead.
You shouldn't wrap up yet because you asked me how this will change things for me, but you didn't weigh
Yes.
in on that. How is this changing, this lack of reporting going to change things for you, a more serious influencer moving forward? Are there any things that you're going to change about your workflow?
Yeah. Well, the way I make videos and do things like that, no, it doesn't change anything. It does change that I don't check Amazon nearly as much every day. I wrote an extension for myself to do exactly what I want it to do. And a couple things that it does. For one, every morning it will go through, it will look at every single video I have, and then it will check to see if there's a creator connections campaign for it. So just to make sure that I've got campaigns accepted. And one of the
I want
things
that extension. Let's talk later.
one of the things I've implemented with it is as I've been looking at the reports coming in that show the clicks, I've noticed that like, oh, I will get clicks for certain brands or certain keywords. For example, on YouTube, I have a video of an ice maker that's doing pretty well. And I know in the past I would get some Halo sales for different ice makers because people will watch my video, buy another ice maker. So in my extension, I wrote a feature where I can add whatever keyword, whatever brand, whatever ASIN I want. It will go through, it will find all of the campaigns that meet those keywords, and then it auto accepts them. So that's been pretty cool. It's too early to say what that's going to do for me, but like I accepted 1,000 campaigns this morning, just putting in keywords and stuff like that. So that's my I mean that's just a way to earn a little extra money. But as far as how I accept products, how I do my reviews and stuff like that, none of that has changed. It is kind of interesting to try to figure out Amazon because they really don't give data, so they leave it up to us to figure things out on our own. I'm not a huge fan of that, but this isn't a ranting session. I'm still very grateful. Amazon Influencer Program is awesome. If you have any final thoughts, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just wrap up now.
No, I just want to reiterate that too. I ran some numbers this last week, and as far as saturation in the market, frustration with not getting reports from Amazon and other data, I still think this is the best side hustle there is because in a few hours a week, I can make the equivalent of a full-time income. And if you were disciplined, if you treated this like a job and every day you were making videos and you were really intentional, like McKay, your last sequence of those 6 videos that say, here's everything we know about what works in review videos. If you actually applied that and spent time every day improving and doing reviews, like this is the easiest 6-figure income that exists in the world today. Like it's easier than becoming a professional athlete or a celebrity. Like you could be high 6 figures if you took this seriously, starting from scratch with no education, no background. This really is a great hustle.
Agreed. And we'll leave it at that. Thanks, everyone.